We had an unexpected opportunity to take the next step and jumped at it. In our excitement, we forgot the key to the lock. Todd grinded it off under the watchful eye of our long-term traveling friends, who are still having a good laugh over it. After a few false starts, we got the 98 Coleman Fleetwood pop-up camper set up in the driveway so that it could air out and we could see what was needed in the way of cleaning. It had sat in a garage for 2 years and then under a tarp for the last year. The biggest issue we faced was the UV damage done to the top. First order of business was to clean off the many different substances the previous owner had used in an attempt to repair the damage. Coleman no longer makes the tops, so they got creative, including melting white Legos down and pouring it over the top. It was actually very effective for the first year, but unfortunately the sun doesn't care, and soon into the second year the melted Legos started to break down. As it turned out, using a putty knife and a heat gun were the most effective. Todd then came along with a sander to smooth out any remaining rough edges. We then started the process of covering the very damaged area with a 10-inch wide white triple thick industrial strength flex tape. Lots of fun here. We worked to get the worst and the biggest damaged sections covered. Then I climbed on top of the camper and began to spread liquid white flex tape all over the top, paying extra attention to the edges of the tape. Thankfully, the paint was thick enough to fill and seal many smaller cracks that were appearing. I will be doing a second coat later. Then I moved on to cleaning and reapplying waterproofing to the exposed canvas. I was never more grateful for my little cordless scrubber. It really reduced the amount of time I spent on this task. I had already removed all the curtains. With it having been in a garage for so long, it's in really good shape, but it still took many paper towels to wipe all the accumulated dust and grime. My husband had picked up these adorable small cooking utensils from Dollar Tree. Because I have 7 children, I have never in my adult life cooked with anything remotely this small. When Todd first brought them to me, I honestly thought they were for dolls. Of course, I stocked the galley with Ziploc bags of all sizes. During my stocking, I became irritated by the drawer not gliding smoothly or setting in the track correctly. Since I couldn't see an obvious issue, I'll have to take more time later to take it apart to fix it. We only need it functional for this weekend since this is the test run weekend. No surprise, the anno rod needed replaced. Thankfully, Todd had researched the topic and learned the rod is expected to be replaced yearly depending on how much is used. The previous owner had admitted they had never checked it. I am so grateful my husband thinks of these things. Once replaced, Todd used his new tool to get the new rod back in place. Stay tuned, our fun is just beginning.